And welcome back to the video. So today's video is another combinations question. Now, don't normally start a video by apologizing, but I cannot get rid of those little white shadows of the fruit. So kind of is what it is, sorry. But either way, we have a nice little combinations question. This ranks up there as being quite difficult. And as with all these questions, there is a straightforward way of doing it, which is quicker, and there's a long way of doing it. Both should give you the same answer. Can you get the way that's a bit quicker? As ever, pause the video, give it a go, and I'll be back in a minute or so. Okay, so how do we approach a question like this? Well, as I mentioned in the intro, there are definitely a couple of ways of doing it. So this is the way that I would do this question, mainly because the alternative way just involves too many steps and too many combinations. So what I would do is I would think about all the ways of picking all the fruit. So let's think about apples. So with apples, you can either pick 3 apples, 2 apples, 1 apple, or 0 apples. Remembering again, the question does not tell you how many pieces of fruit you're picking. You're just picking some, and you're trying to check once you've picked some whether you've got 2 different kinds. So apples, there are 3, 2, 1, and 0 ways of picking an apple, which means there are 4 combinations overall of apples. Now, hopefully we've got where we're going with this. So oranges, there are 3 ways of picking oranges, which is 2 oranges, 1 orange, and 0 oranges. So therefore, there are 3 different ways of picking oranges. Plums are obviously going to be 2, so 1 and 0, and I won't read them all out for obvious reasons. And limes are going to be 10 for the reasons you can see on the screen. So that means if there are 4 ways of picking apples, 3 ways of picking oranges, 2 ways of picking plums, and 10 ways of picking limes, well, therefore, multiply all these numbers together and you get 240 ways of picking fruit where it doesn't tell you how many pieces of fruit I'm picking. And you'll notice that does include 0 because I could pick 0, 0, 0, and 0. That's how combinations work. Always feels a little bit fake, that bit, but that is indeed correct. So given I've got the 240, that's too many because that includes the situation where I only pick 1 fruit. So now I need to exclude the case where I pick just 1 type of fruit and also the case where I pick 0 fruit. So let's think about apples. Well, with apples, there are 3 ways of picking an apple only. So that's picking 3 apples, picking 2 apples, or picking 1 apple. When it comes to the oranges, well, there's 2 ways of picking an orange. There's 1 way of picking a plum, and there's 9 ways of picking a lime. Now, notice this is different to the numbers above because specifically I'm saying of picking an apple. So I can't, if I don't pick any apples, I can't say I picked an apple. So that's why those numbers are 1 lower than numbers above. Now, those are the number of ways of picking 1 type of fruit. Add those together and I get 15 ways of picking 1 type of fruit. As I've mentioned a couple of times, there is also the slightly weird one of picking no fruit, which is a combination in itself. There is 1 way of picking no fruit. So I'm going to do 240 minus the 15 minus the 1, and that is going to give me 224 different ways. And now, as discussed at the start, and I haven't done this here, well, you're welcome to give it a go. I could go through the idea of picking 1 apple and 1 orange, and 1 apple and 2 oranges, and 1 apple, etc. That will work, but obviously that is considerably more lengthy. So I think this is the quickest method of doing it. If you have a quicker one, do let me know. As ever, like, subscribe, leave a comment if there's anything you don't agree with. I'm more than happy to respond and take criticism from you all. And if not, I will see you for tomorrow's problem. Thanks all.